There's one thing I've been seeing a lot of lately, and I know how badly it's starting to impact our industry. I'm seeing people outsourcing their actual intelligence to artificial intelligence. And I think that's where the whole conversation around AI is starting to go wrong. Because I use AI every single day, but there's a big difference between using artificial intelligence to help you think and asking artificial intelligence to do the thinking for you. I'm Clint, and this is Creativity That Converts, the show where we unpack the art and strategy of using video to grow your business. This is the space to learn what's working, what's changing, and how to create content that really connects. No fluff, no ego, just real talk that gets results. Welcome to Creativity That Converts. That's what I mean when I talk about AI versus AI, artificial intelligence versus actual intelligence. The artificial intelligence can research, it can throw ideas at you, it can help you structure something, it can challenge what you're thinking, and sometimes take you somewhere you hadn't even considered. But your actual intelligence still has to be involved. You still have to look at what comes back and go, yep, that sounds like me. Or no, that completely missed the point. And sometimes it's even, that's absolute crap. Let's start again. Because that's how I use it. I don't want AI replacing my thinking. I want AI enhancing my thinking. And what I'm seeing more and more at the moment is people skipping that part completely. We're probably seeing it most at the moment with scripts. We'll get an email from an agent saying, hey, I've got this idea for a video. Here's the script. I'd love to come in and film it. Great. We'll get the studio ready. We'll get everything ready. We'll load it into the teleprompter. They'll come in. We'll get the cameras set up, get the lights right, get the audio sorted, and then we start filming. And within the first couple of lines, you can tell that they haven't read it at all. And I don't mean they haven't rehearsed it 15 times and memorized every word. I don't expect that. I mean they genuinely haven't sat down and read the thing that they've asked us to help create for them. So they'll start reading and suddenly it's, oh, I wouldn't say that. Well, okay, so we change it. Then another sentence comes up. Oh, that really doesn't make sense. Okay, well, we better change that too. Then we get to a statistic or a statement. The question is that actually right? Well, I don't know. You sent me the script. And suddenly we're not filming anymore. We're spending that time writing. We're researching. We're trying to work out what the point of the video actually is. What's the video's job? And the agent standing in front of the cameras trying to work out what they think about a subject that they supposedly already had done the research on and it came into film. It just creates absolute carnage. And it's happening often enough now that as a company, we're getting to the point where we sort of don't want to take on those jobs. Now, that's not us saying you can't use AI to write a script. Use it. I use it. But if you're going to send something and say, these are the words I want to put my face to, then at the very least, they need to be actually the words you're comfortable putting your face to. Read the script. Understand the script. Check the information in it. Change the bits you don't like. Put some of yourself into it. And then send it through. Because otherwise, we're using really expensive cameras, amazing lighting, audio, throwing massive production at something that nobody actually thought about. And that's where I think this goes beyond just making our shoots harder. Because ultimately, that's our problem. We can deal with that. The bigger problem is what all of this is doing to content and your brand. There is so much content being produced now that is perfectly fine. And I think perfectly fine is becoming one of the biggest problems we have. It's written correctly. It's grammatically correct. It has a hook. It delivers 3 points. It's got a call to action. It ticks every box. But it says absolutely nothing. You could put any real estate agent's face to it. You could change Port Macquarie to Newcastle or Sydney or Brisbane or wherever you happen to be, and the script would still work. And if that's the case, why does it need to come from you? That's the bit that I think is getting missed. When people talk about AI and content, AI has access to an unbelievable amount of information. What it doesn't automatically have access to is your experience, your knowledge. Let's say you want to make a video about getting a property ready for sale. You can ask AI to write that right now. It'll probably tell you to declutter, tidy the gardens, make sure the house is clean, deal with those little maintenance jobs that you've been ignoring. All perfectly good advice, but everyone's heard it before. Where it's getting interesting is when you say, I walked into a property last week and the owners had spent thousands getting this home ready for sale. But the first thing I noticed when I walked through the door was, see, now you've got me listening, because that came from you. That happened to you. You were in that room. You had that conversation. And AI can absolutely help you take that experience and turn it into a really good piece of content. But it can't give you the experience in the first place. You have to bring that. And that's why I keep coming back to this idea that AI probably gets you to 60, 70% of the way there, which is incredible. If somebody told me a few years ago that I could take an idea, have a conversation with a computer about it, and get research back, explore different angles, and have the bones of something together in minutes, I would have thought that was amazing. But somewhere along the way, 70% started becoming good enough. We started looking at the first answer and going, yeah, that'll do. Copy, paste, post. And I actually think the final 30% is becoming more important than ever, because that's where you come into it. That's where you look at something and go, actually, I disagree with that. Or that might be technically correct, but that's not what I'm seeing in my market. Or that reminds me of a client I worked with 3 years ago who had that same thing. And now you start adding something that somebody else can't generate by typing the same prompt. That's the actual intelligence. And there's another part to this as well. People seem to think AI should automatically know their voice. They'll generate something and say, it doesn't sound like me. Well, of course it doesn't. Have you actually taught it what you sound like? Have you given it examples? Have you told it the words that you hate using? Have you shown it content you've created that you really liked? Have you explained your audience that we're targeting? Have you given it your opinions? Have you corrected it when it gets something wrong? Because if you haven't, it's just guessing. And even when you have done all of that, you still need to read what comes back. I spent plenty of time working with AI, and it still gives me things where I go, well, nope, you're going back to doing that thing again, but I correct it. And then we go again, because I'm still responsible for the end result. That's where I think people misunderstand the time-saving side of AI. Saving time doesn't mean removing yourself from the process completely. It means removing some of the things that used to take up your time, so you can spend more of it on the things that actually really require you. Let AI do a heap of research. Let it pull together information. Let it help you get past the blank page. Let it give you somewhere to start. And that's brilliant. But then bring your brain back into the room. And this is going to become even more important as we start seeing more transparency around AI-generated content. We're already heading towards more platforms identifying, labeling, and watermarking content that's been generated or altered using AI. And I don't think the response to that should be trying to hide the fact that you've used AI. That's not the point. The point is understanding what role AI actually played. Did it help you research the idea? Did it help you work through it? Did it help you structure something you already wanted to say? Or did you type in, write me a 60-second video about why now is a good time to sell, and then just publish whatever came back? They're very different things. One is AI assisted, the other is just AI generated. And for me, I want artificial intelligence sitting beside my actual intelligence. I want the two working together, because I don't think this is artificial intelligence versus actual intelligence in the sense that one of them has to win. The opportunity is in combining them. You've got access to technology that can research faster than you, process enormous amounts of information, help you find connections, and give you a starting point in seconds. And that's amazing. Then you've got something it doesn't have. You've got your career. You've got the conversations you've had. You've got the mistakes that you've made. You've got the clients who taught you something. You've got the clients that the listing just went horribly wrong. You've got the sale that surprised you. You've got an opinion, a judgment. You've got context. That's actual intelligence. And when you put those two things together, that's where AI becomes incredibly powerful. But when you start to remove that actual intelligence from the equation, we're all just using the same tools to create more and more of the same stuff. And we're already drowning in that. So I'm not going to tell you to stop using AI. I'm going to tell you the complete opposite. Learn how to use it really bloody well. Use it to research. Use it to explore. Use it to challenge your thinking. Use it to save yourself hours, but don't outsource the bit that makes the content yours. Because if AI can create the whole thing without you ever needing to think about it, read it, challenge it, or add anything to it, then why does your audience need you? Artificial intelligence should enhance your actual intelligence. It shouldn't replace it. And before I wrap this one up, make sure you tune in next week because we're hitting a pretty big milestone for us. It'll be our 50th episode of Creativity That Converts. And ironically, it looks like it'll land right around the same time we cross the 10,000 downloads as well. And when I think back over those 50 episodes, we've had a lot of fun doing this. We've had some incredible conversations with some amazing guests. We've shared plenty of ideas. We've hopefully helped a lot of agents think a little differently about their content, their video, and how they market themselves. So 50 episodes and 10,000 downloads feels like something worth celebrating. And we've got something pretty special planned for next week. So make sure you're following the podcast, and I'll see you then for episode 50. Have a great week.